Hello, I'm Daniel Barnett, an employment law barrister from Chambers in central London, and I've recorded a series of videos showing you ways in which you can avoid redundancies and also showing in a step-by-step format, if you've got no other choice, exactly how you can go about making redundancies in a way which is fair, reasonable and legal. In a moment, I'm going to talk you quickly through the 10 video modules, and I'll also tell you about some of the other things I'm giving you on this course. But 3 things, first of all, that I just want to mention. First of all, the course is completely online. There's no travel, there's no being in a room with other people. You can watch the modules whenever you want and in any order. Second, there's no test at the end. It's your chance to share the knowledge that it's taken me 25 years representing employers and employees in employment tribunals to acquire. It's the information you won't find outside legal textbooks, and I've distilled it down into a series of 10 short modules to be simple, straightforward, and complete. And third, once you've gone through these videos, you'll be able to answer any questions you're asked about redundancy processes. You'll be able to choose selection pools with confidence. You'll know how to answer process questions from employees, and you'll hear about selection criteria that are easy to apply and which tribunals like. You'll know how to consult individually with employees, how to consult with unions, and how to deal with the inevitable difficult conversations. In a nutshell, you'll learn how to get redundancy right, meaning you're less likely to end up in time-consuming, expensive, and draining tribunal hearings. Plus, it means your business can retain the best talent while keeping ongoing costs as low as they can be kept. Now, here's what you're going to learn in the 10 video modules. Module 1 is an introduction. It's quite short. I'll go through the basics and you'll get an overview of the process. Module 2 covers the definition of redundancy. You'll also learn the 3 most common ways in which employees challenge their selection for redundancy in employment tribunals. Module 3 is about 13 ways to avoid redundancies. Not all of them will fit every business, but 1 or 2 of them will. Module 4 is on how to choose your selection pool, and I'll cover 4 areas. First of all, when you can use a pool of 1, the advantages and the disadvantages of a pool of 1, and how it works. Second, when you use a bigger pool, how to decide how narrow or wide to make it. And as a rule, employers want it narrow to make selection easier and involve fewer people, and employees want it wide because the wider the pool, the less chance they have of being selected. Third, I'll tell you the 2 rules to use when choosing your selection pool. Follow these 2 rules and you'll have to be very unlucky to have your choice of pool criticised by a tribunal. And fourth, I'll talk about consultation over the pool, when and why you need to consult over who's in the pool, and why unions don't like to get involved. Module 5 is on choosing selection criteria. There are 8 things you'll learn. First of all, objective versus subjective criteria. We all know disciplinary records and absences can be measured, but what about things like attitude or flexibility or potential? We've always been told objective is good, subjective is bad. That's rubbish. I'm going to show you how you can use subjective criteria, and I'm going to show you the case law which actually supports and authorises the use of subjective criteria as long as there are some safeguards involved. That's number 1. Number 2, I'll talk about the clarity of criteria. Criteria have to be clear, not nebulous or difficult to score. So is continuous innovation acceptable as a factor? Is adherence to company values? I'll go through lots of different criteria and explain to you which have been approved and which have been disapproved by tribunals. Number 3, how do you use the matrix method? The 4th thing you'll learn in Module 5 is about different types of criterion. 4, LIFO, length of service. We all know LIFO, last in, first out, can't be used anymore. I'll explain why, and I'll tell you the best way to factor in length of service. 5, I'll talk about performance and skill-related criteria. This speaks for itself. Number 6, I'll talk about absence-related criteria. I'll take you through how you adjust scores to deal with people on long-term sick or those with disabilities, and how you adjust for those on maternity or similar family-friendly leave. 7th, in Module 5, I'll talk about the cost to the business. Can you target the most expensive employees? Is that a legitimate criterion, and how does it work? Or, at the other end of the spectrum, can you target those whom it would be cheapest to dismiss? And the 8th thing you'll learn in Module 5 is about miscellaneous criteria. I'll run through a series of other criteria and talk to you about which ones work well and which ones don't. That's Module 5. It's a pretty big module. Module 6 is another big one. It's on scoring and individual consultation. Now, the module covers 9 issues arising from the topic of scoring and individual consultation. Let me tell you what they are. I talk about the importance of a fair system for scoring and why tribunals normally don't want to get too deeply involved at looking at individual scores. Second, I'll talk about the 3 rules that you can use for making sure that managers score fairly. Third, why it might be an easy out to rely on interviews, but why you need to be very cautious about doing that. Fourth, why you'll probably never win a consultation would be useless argument. Fifth, how long you should consult for. Is a day enough, or a week, or a month? I'll talk you through the different factors. Sixth, what do you say when an employee asks for everybody else's scores? How do you deal with that? 7, how do you consult with people who aren't present in the workplace, such as women on maternity leave, or people on long-term sick absence, or employees on furlough? 8, what are the 5 key rules for consulting over Zoom or Skype? And finally, 9, what happens if an employee refuses to engage with the process? Module 7 on collective consultation. I'm going to go a little faster now. Module 7 will cover the meaning of an establishment, who you have to consult with, how long you have to consult for, and will go into detail into the special circumstances defence. Module 8 on offering alternative employment will cover when other jobs are and aren't suitable. We'll look at competing for new roles. We'll look at trial periods, unreasonable refusal of alternative employment, and the special rules for women on maternity leave. Module 9 is on dismissal, including when you could give notice, time off to seek new work, and exit packages. And Module 10 is miscellaneous issues, which I haven't covered elsewhere. It includes things like voluntary redundancy, bumping, making redundancies following a TUPE transfer, and the impact of being able to furlough somebody instead of dismissing. Now that's the 10 video modules, but I've also put together some fantastic resources for everybody who signs up to the course. They're available to you for free as soon as you sign up. First and foremost, I've put together my own template redundancy selection matrix, which you can use to score employees during the selection process. I'll also give you a copy of my own redundancy policy, which I wrote and which I give to my regular corporate clients. Third, you'll be given access to an exclusive group I've set up on Facebook only for subscribers to this course, where you can discuss the issues arising from the course and ask me questions. Fourth, I'm going to run at least 3 live online Q&A sessions over Zoom for subscribers to this course to answer your questions and help you with redundancy situations. Fifth, I'm going to give you complimentary access to 29 videos of 29 webinars I did in April and May 2020 with 29 employment barristers on 29 aspects of law. All these resources, as well as the basic 10 video modules, are available to anyone who signs up for the Getting Redundancy Right package.